I still? Yes, I think so. There. And it's Saturday story time. And the story is about the 8 acres that we bought with the warehouse and the shop on it. And the warehouse at the end had been burnt. And last week I told how it was our first year. And now I'm in May 1992, and it says, life is like a kaleidoscope, always changing, colored bright to dull. May 3rd, Tom and I were enjoying a casual gathering at our place. May 5th, we were in the midst of life and death struggles. My dad has cancer. He went into kidney failure, then hemorrhaged, and after 3 units of blood and a stay in the hospital, he stabilized. We are waiting for his kidneys to improve before he can go on to the next step of his health care. While we have been waiting, my folks have been staying with us, and they sold their home that they had built and lived in for 24 years, and that was a very hard hurdle for them to make, but one they knew that they had to do. Fortunately, their home sold easily. Next, we wrestled with how to settle them near us or on our property. Build them a small little apartment home, or buy a new mobile home, or and place it on the 8 acres, or buy our renter's mobile home. The renter, Teresa, owns her 2-bedroom trailer, but she's rented our landscaped lot. At one time, she voiced a desire to move further out into the country, but she decided she'd rather stay put. Her 9-year-old son is in a good school district, and she decided it would be a mistake to move. So we looked into building an apartment for my folks. I purchased a septic tank permit. We called a contractor to put the tank in for us and lined up the builders. Everything seemed to be falling into place. By Friday, we had them all scheduled to start the next Thursday. That Saturday was a relaxed day. Teresa, the renter, came over for a short visit and then left to go shopping. John, our son, dropped in, and we sat around talking about new rooms and yards, colors and styles. We ate watermelon together. We had a nice day. Teresa had gone to Boise that day to shop at the mall with her son. On the way home, her dog distracted Teresa while driving, and that proved fatal. Her son was buckled up, and she had a thing against seatbelts. We were still in shock. Teresa is dead. Her son is alive, suffering from bruises and the loss of his mother. My folks are moving into Teresa's home next week. Together, my folks and I have gone to their old place, and we've gathered up all of their lawn furniture. We've brought it back. They have been enjoying their new yard while waiting for Teresa's things to be moved. Next week, the fun begins, moving my folks into their new home. When we bought the 8 acres and saw that trailer there to begin with, I had envisioned them living in that spot, never dreaming it would come in this manner. Last month had been filled with stress and adjustment, proving life is never static. Changes come with each day. On the bright side, Tom and I did finish our new room. Now, this part I don't think I've talked about much, but the warehouse, like I say, was 160 feet long. We decided to take, somehow I think it was the last 40 feet, which gave us a 40 by 40 foot space that we were going to build our home in. Because of the high ceilings, we were able to come up, I think we came up 4 feet, 4 from 16, what is that? That leaves 12 feet. I think probably we had 10-foot ceilings inside because we insulated. In fact, the bottom was insulated too. The floor was insulated up in that 4 feet. The ceiling coming down was another 2 feet of insulation, and we built. So the batteries died, and I'm hoping I'm in there really. So I think I was telling you about the new room, and because we had 10 feet ceilings in the new home we were building back there at the end of the warehouse, and Tom had made a cathedral type ceiling in this living room, dining room, and I believe the dimensions, and I'm not sure on this, remember it's 40 by 40 the whole thing is going to be, and so we sort of divided it so it's 20 feet wide by let's say 25. I don't know what it was back here, but what was left, it would be like the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen. The kitchen area is not made yet. It's just, like I say, there is well, maybe I didn't. There is a tarp between what we have done and what we don't. And anyway, he built this really neat wood ceiling, and it was in pieces, small pieces, and it looked really neat. And because they were lots of wooden pieces, it gave a really visual, textured look to the ceiling. And then it had a beautiful a beautiful light in it, hanging light. Really pretty. I wished we could have moved it when we sold that, but we didn't. But anyway, regardless, it was very pretty. And then the floors, what Tom had done, he put in the wood floors, and then we had stained it a sort of a bluish green color. Some people might have looked at it and thought it was green, others might have looked at it and thought it was blue, but it was a stain, so you could see all the wood grain through it, and it had a very nice finish on that. And then the walls, he had put like a picture frame wainscot, and then inside of where the picture would have hung down, I think we painted it a little darker shade than the top, and it was a light green. And this room faced west, and so it was the hot end. And I'm telling you that because finally we had so much shade on that hot end. When I first started planting my little yard out in front, I put in all sorts of sun-bearing, loving plants, and I had to change over the years to shade-loving plants because of how we had changed with the trees and whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the reading. On the bright side, Tom and I did finish our new room. It's beautiful. It has become my island of peace and tranquility. Taking each old piece of familiar furniture out of storage and placing it in a proper new place was healing. Lovingly hanging the pictures and laying the rugs was like meeting old friends again, bringing continuity to my life. May the colors of your kaleidoscope be bright and cheery. Be bright and cheery. One other postscript I'd like to make on this is that November, that's still all basically, well, there was other bits started in the making, but that was done. There was no kitchen, but we had our first Thanksgiving in there, and I cooked all the dinner in the upstairs break room. We carry it down, and we served it, and it was just beautiful. My folks, my dad, my mom, and part of our family were there, and it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful time, and that was the last Thanksgiving dinner that we had with my mom and dad together. So it was a special, special time. And you know, you need to learn to enjoy those times. When they happen, you don't realize that maybe this is the last time or how special it is. But begin to think about your special times and place them in a special place in your heart that you can in future look back on and enjoy again. So I'll let you go. Have a good Saturday. I hope you came through the 4th with flying colors, and we'll see you again. These are pictures that I'd like to show you of, and I'll try to get it right. Here, no? Okay, this, have I got it upside down? Yep. Okay, this is the outside, how it looked before we finished it for the new room. I don't have finished the after pictures of this yet, but that was again the outside. And okay, this, I got it upside down. This is the inside of the new room that we finished, and there is the ceiling line. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the ceiling, the darker. This is where it had burned through, and so that is that. And then, I don't know, this is part of the new room. Wait just a minute. There. This is, wow, if I can get it right. This is the same area where it was burnt out. Those are the, you can see part of it. These are bad pictures, I guess. But there's part of the room. There's our neighbor's son's Tin Man in it. Okay, this is again the room, the new room. And they're hard to see, I realize that. And there's part of it. And there again, this is where, and it's a bad picture, but it was all burnt out, and now, and there it is now. And that